O Great Spirit, saints and sages of all times, of all places, O ye pathmakers of old, most beloved Lord of life, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, Namaste. Ancestors of all of our lines and lineages, our bloodlines, our adopted lines, marriage lines, friendship lines, family lines, wisdom lines, Namaste. O ye beings of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Namaste. Most infinite Lord of stillness, come be with us, fill us with thy presence. O ye powers that be, sweep clear the path, that as we share this time together, we might be lifted, we might see that which needs to be seen, hear that which needs to be heard, to act in the greatest and highest wisdom. Om Gam, Om Gum, Om I, Gam Gum I, Om Shri Papaji Namaha. Om Shri Lahiri Mahasayaji Namaha. Om Shri Utteshwarji Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansa Yoganandaji Namaha. Om Shri Shaliji Namaha. Om Shri Swami Kriyanandaji Namaha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sangha, our Sunday noon meditation. If you haven't already, relax, take a breath. Let go of all of the chokos of the world, that we together might lift and ascend. In Mother India, in the olden days, and today, at this very moment, there lived a great and giant being, a family of these great and giant beings. They were gray, different shades of gray. And they had long white parts on their body. In a village, in the hinterlands, you would say, down in the valley. They had never seen this creature, but there was water in that valley. And one morning over the hills came not one, not two, not three, but 12 of these magical, massive beings. Om Goom, Om Goom, Om Goom. Gum, 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 gum. All the villagers rushed out. Everybody wanted to, what's that sound? What's that sound? Oh my goodness. They were exclaiming here and exclaiming there. Now, among the village elders there were 5 blind elders. Not completely blind, but cataracts on the eyes, not seeing so well. Gom, 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 gom. So the children run to the elders. You must come, you must come, you must see this magical being that is here. Out come the elders. Poor sighted elders. Like all of us, blinders on. Well, theirs were covering it, but blinders on. The first of the magical creatures comes into the town. Boom, 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 boom. Followed by the other 11. All very still. Wow. The first elder, get back from them. I will tell you what this is. And you are not welcome in our village until we know who you are. The creature bows its head and lifts its head up. Gum, gum, gum. They should have taken the hint. They didn't. So they go. The first elder feels along the side. A little rough here. Goes to the back and grabs something. Oh, what's the excitement? It's a tree. It's a tree. It's a tree. He grabs and he's holding on. Second elder comes to the front. Oh, it's not a tree. It's like a floppy ear. What is this? Like a floppy. This is floppy. It's gonna fly away any minute. The third elder goes to the back and this is just a tail, just like a big rat's tail. What are you talking about? We have a tree, we have an ear, we have a tail. What is this creature? Oh my. The fourth elder goes to the front and grabs a hold of the first thing that he can feel. Oh, this is a big, big, big trunk. Maybe it is part of a tree. And as the creature bows its head, the fifth elder sees or feels this big, long, white horn. Grabs a hold of it. No. I don't know, but this is a horn. This is a horn like we used to blow. Oh my goodness. They start fighting. They start arguing. Oh, it's a tree, I tell you. It's an ear, I tell you. It's a horn, I tell you. It's a tail of a rat, I tell you. Up above, looking down. Excuse me, kind sirs. Excuse me. Oh, wise ones. I don't mean to bother you. What is this? What is this? One of the children says, well, hi. Oh, that looks like fun. Oh, wow. Turns to the elders and says, there's a little girl on top of this creature. A little girl. Hey, can I come up there with you? In a minute. And she gently touches this magical creature that she's riding on. And it gets down on its knees, And she gestures to the little boy, and he comes to sit with her. Everybody's afraid. Because nobody knows what it is. And the elders are still arguing. And the little girl says, please. Om. 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 The arguing stops. They know that sound. They know that if they hear that, The little boy gets on with the little girl, and this magical creature lifts itself up to its perfect height. And the little girl says, "Ah, this is, oh, what is this creature? You want me to tell you? What do you think it is?" she says to them. And again, arguing starts up in an instant. As soon as she asks the question, they're all with their opinions, all arguing with their opinions, getting very loud and raucousy. And again, om, 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 stops. And little boy whispers to her, "What's its name? What's it called?" She says to him, whispers, and he says, "Good." He says, "Excuse me, we must listen to her." And she speaks and says, "This creature is called elephant. Elephant. Some of you know the creature is Lord Ganesh. But we come here to visit you today for one sacred thing, to give you one sacred gift, one special gift. Each of these beings has an eternal memory. They remember everything that happened to the other 11, and the ancestors of the other 11, and their ancestors, and their ancestors, and their ancestors. They have a memory. They do not forget. They do not become unconscious. They remember. They remember the good things, and they remember the things that are not so good. Now, what is to be learned? And the little girl begins to teach from the top of the Ella, the fountain. And what does she say to them? Yeah. What do you think you did wrong? To the elders. Not many people were happy to hear that. Who wants a child asking, "What did you do wrong?" You took your little opinion from your little world. You put your blinders on. You failed to ascend, to look up. If you had ascended like this boy did, like I have done, you would have seen the whole. If you had just walked up the hill that we came over, you would have seen the whole. And you would have not fought with each other. You would have not caused all of this anguish and pain to the other people. The elders were a little embarrassed. And the eldest of the elders came and said, "Please tell us what you're thinking. You're right, we forgot. We forgot because we were so stuck in being right." And so the little girl sits down and begins to talk to them. And in time, all is well. But what did she say? What was the secret of what she said? You're blinded. You're blinded by your preferences, blinded by your biases. You're blinded by your opinions. You're blinded because you have an opinion. You thought because you touched something, it was like a tree, but you could not see beyond that one single individual experience. This happens to us in life, as the girl was saying. It happens to us in life. We have an experience and we think, "Oh, I know how it is." But we forget, On the earth, there are 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 states of consciousness, with all the permutations of all the 12 and all the various combinations of all the 12. And all of the humanoids having different opinions, different experiences, and different ways of sinking their feet in the mud or the concrete, if you will, and arguing over reality, arguing over what's right and what's not right. Now, what do we do? Because you know that this happens to you. It has happened to me. Certainly it happens to you. Somebody says something and you feel that they're wrong. Somebody does something and you feel that they're wrong. No, you have an adult child, and no longer a child, a son, a daughter, who is an adult into adulthood. And you don't like the way that they're living their lives. You're sure that even though they're in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s, that they should live like you want them to live. And you fight and you argue, and your mind becomes filled with anguish. And maybe you don't say these things out loud, but you argue within yourself. Your mind becomes riled up. It becomes chaotic. Chokos. Now, mystically, very easy to pick up the emotions of others. Let the emotions of others fill the room and you can sup upon them. But this is not what we want. This is not what you want, to find happiness in your life, not to sup upon the emotions. Neti, neti, neti. But to be quiet, to become still, to lift up like the girl who was sitting above, the little girl sitting above. Now, why is the symbol of the little girl and the little boy? It's lifting from the Mars center, where we are all incarnated, up to the Venus. One step up makes a big difference. We're still wanting to move up here to the higher consciousness, but by moving up one step to compassion, to love, oh, I see, maybe I should detach from my expectations. Maybe I should detach from my biases and my prejudices, and thus find peace and contentment. I don't know about you, but it's quite uncomfortable to walk through life with your mind chattering, arguing, it should be this way. Oh, I wish they did it this way, on and on and on. Stop, take a breath, rest. For just a moment and stop, let go of the chaos of the mind. You will find ever greater joy and happiness. Now, detachment is the great yogic, one of the great yogic practices. The Gita says you have the right to work, but not the right to receive the results of your labor. Well, what does that mean? It means that there is a karmic responsibility to work, to do the best that we can with the skills that we have, to be helpful to life, to be a part of life. We are a part of life, but to actively feed and succor unto life. Succor, that's a word my guru used a lot. Succor unto life. And it means thus to feed life the way that it needs to be fed, in the most vibrant and vital way. Feed life, feed it. Do that which needs to be done at the right time, at the right place, and in the right way. Now, this means stepping on the other side, seeing the other. Here's you, here's the other. See them, see them, see them. But too often we don't see them. This is the way it is. This is the way it is. Detach, soften, soften, soften. Soften your ego self. Soften your opinions. You know, somebody reminded me the other day, made me feel really good that they reminded me. So I could use that. They said, you know, one time you said you don't need to have an opinion for everything. And I thought, oh, yeah, that was pretty wise. I'm glad you told me that I said that. Because for years that was a practice and still remains necessary practice. You walk down the street, you see somebody and they're dressed differently than you would dress. You don't need to opine upon how they're dressed or how their hair is or how their voice is or the words that they're using or the way that they're living their lives. You know, you could simply say, when that thought rises in the mind, neti, neti, neti. I'm not the thought. I'm not the thought thinking this thought. I'm not thought. You would say, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. People will act like people. People will people. My guru used to say all the time, people will people. And when they're peopling, just let them people. You know, don't be like that. Now, what is the thing that we have to strive for in detaching? And how is it done? How is it best done? It is best done, I would say, by beginning with small things, very, very small. Food. We all eat food, some more, some less. We eat food. Take your food and take a little bit of it. You set a plate for yourself and take a little bit of it and make a small mini dinner in the corner, or as Shelley G liked to do, in the center. But a small mini dinner that is set apart for all of the others, all of them. You enjoy your lettuce, you enjoy the tomato, you enjoy the nice rice and the dal. You set a little bit aside for the other. And you get to the end of your meal. Oh, that dal was so good. I sure would like a taste of that. I don't want to let it go to waste. No, detach. Neti, neti, neti. Leave it. As somebody once said to me, you throw away the rest of the food. And I said, you're gently putting it in some way to recycle it. You know, the humans aren't the only ones that eat that food. There are others that eat it. But the point is, begin with detachment. Begin with detachment. The food is a good place to begin. One more. The ancient ruin for silence. My guru's ruin for silence. Duct tape. What does it mean? Somebody's talking to you about something that you feel very strongly about. What happens? You know what happens here. The mind. Before the person is finished, your mind, everything is rushing to go, to go, to go. Become impatient. And the practice is Let me listen with full attention. And when the mind becomes impatient, stop and listen. Stop and listen. Now, there is a practice that is it's a very important yogic practice. And I will be honest telling you that it took me a long time to gain a foothold in that practice. I have it now. I'm very grateful for it. And I continue to pray that I sustain it. But this practice occurs, you'll often hear people say in the work world, in the business world, and sometimes in spiritual, don't take it personally. Don't take what he said or she said personally. Don't take what they did personally. And in the beginning, the mind says, what do you mean? How else is there to take it but personally? They were rude to me. He really screwed up my meal at the restaurant. The answer is, don't take it personally. Stop and say, oh, I wonder what kind of day they're having. I wonder what's happening in their life that they are speaking so meanly to me, that I'm hearing them speaking meanly or cruelly or unkindly or having no compassion for what I'm going through. Yeah, you've had this happen. You have a time in your life where you wish that the people around you were kind, compassionate, and they're not. They're not. They are peopling. As Guruji would say, peopling. And so what do we have to do? We have to say, all right, I'm not going to take it personally. Not even so personally, but I'm not going to take it personally. And what does that mean? It truly means to detach. Wow, that was a really cruel thing that person said. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It's an opportunity for me to bring my soul, my being back into balance. Can I hear it? Can I be quiet? Can I say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti? Not easily done, but vital. Very, very vital to understand more readily, more with a greater fullness, greater compassion, to understand the other, to detach from your need to be right all the time, and really in many ways to detach from your need to be, I guess it's to be first. It's my guru said, if you can be third, that's good. Can you be third? Or even second. But stop pushing. Don't push. Let go of the pushing. And in something that is really antithetical to most Western life, the real concept is to become passive. Passivity means that I'm not out here with the angular energy pushing to do in the world, pushing for name, pushing for fame. I'm not over here with high emotionality, pushing to have my right, I'm here. Yeah. Now, here's one of the most important things is to recognize that going off to the right, going off to the left, it happens repeatedly. The energy flows in your chakra system and it goes off to the Ida, to the Pingala, cross, 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 emotions, activity, emotions, activity, emotions, activity. But when it crosses a point of balance. And so you have to return, I have to return, we have to return again and again and again to the point of balance, to the point of silence. And doing that again and again and again changes everything. Try it for a minute. Close your eyes. Sit with the hands on your thighs and the Om Mudra, thumb and index finger together. Just watch your breath. Now open your eyes. Wasn't that a nice respite? Beautiful respite. All the worries and concerns, they go away. And you have peace within yourself. Now, as you try to incorporate this in your life, what I have said is use the food practice to detach. I have said, let go of your opinions. Listen more carefully. The person has an opinion different than yours. It's all right. Listen to them. It's okay. Listen. Without interrupting. Try to hear them. You're unhappy about something that happened in your life. You're unhappy about the service you're getting in a restaurant, or you're unhappy about something. And just let it go. A few months ago, a new restaurant opened in our neighborhood, in our village. And we went. We knew the people that owned the restaurant. They had owned another place in town right next to it. Very lovely people. And we sat down and proceeded to have the worst service ever. The really, really, really the worst service that I think I have ever experienced in a restaurant. And so I said to my husband, what are we going to do? He said, oh, we can't leave a tip for this. I said, oh, no. Well, we're going to leave a tip for this. I called the young man over and took cash out. And we made a 30% tip. Good tip, really good tip. I stood up and I looked at him real carefully and I said, I know it's your first night. And I said, and I'm going to tell you this. I said, I'm going to give you this really big tip. This is the absolutely worst service I have ever had. But I know you're trying and I know you're going to succeed. I know you're going to do well. Tears welled up in his eyes. And he said, I'm so confused. He said, I can't figure out the system. I'm getting all my orders wrong. 5 minutes. I said, please take this. You're going to do well. I know you're going to do well. Thank you for understanding. All right. I go to the owner. I said, give him extra help. We were at that restaurant with friends last weekend. And we walked in and he, sat down and the young man saw me. And he comes over with this big grin on his face, big smile. Hi, how you doing? I am really enjoying it here. Everything is going so well. I'm so glad to see you. And I said, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. Yes, 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 yes. I'm doing really well here. I'm really glad to see you. Wow, wow, wow. That, my friends, was a gift from my guru, because my guru and my param guru taught that. It wasn't anything I did. It was, just following what they did. But there is a magic. There's a magic that Guruji, my Guruji, talked about a lot, which is the ability to say something to somebody without judgment, with great love and compassion. It would be wrong for me to say this was great service when it wasn't. That wouldn't be helpful. And in my mind, again, my guru, what can you do? You can give him earth prana and your yoga siddhi, your compassion, your kindness, giving him some of your earth prana, not a little bit. My guru always said, in a situation like that, you give enough to make a difference, enough to make that person feel like, oh, something is healed here. Oh, I'm accepted. I made a mistake, but I'm accepted. I goofed, but I'm accepted. I goofed. I really goofed bad, but I'm accepted. Now, maybe you don't do that in a restaurant, but there's 1,000 other ways you do it. 1,000 other ways that you can say to somebody, you're okay. I accept you for the way that you are. Tell me how it's going for you today. And listen to them. Listen. Be supportive. Help them. The young person who feels that they can never do anything right, always criticized. The woman who's been married for 20 years and her in-laws, in India, her in-laws still don't speak to her. She comes in, they nod hello, and they expect her to clean and pick up after them, but they will not speak to her. It hurts the soul. So what can you do? You can give of your kindness, of your compassion, and detach, and do not expect it back for yourself. It will come. I assure you, you will receive oodles and scoops of love and compassion and kindness and wisdom flowing into your life. But it is necessary to detach from our own emotions, the emotionality of our mind, and the emotionality that comes to us from all sides. The gift of people being around you is the emotionality of their mind is contagious. Great opportunity for spiritual discipline. Wonderful. Don't be around it too often. You don't want to become overwhelmed by it. But truly, what comes to my mind is another practice that my guru said. He said, did you ever watch how people drive their cars? I said, oh, yes, yes. Well, you should really get out of the way when they're driving their cars. And one time he said that, and I kind of laughed, and I said, oh, do you remember the road to Hana, Guruji? One time we were driving the road to Hana, and I wasn't driving fast enough for him, and he asked me if I could pull over and he would drive the rest of the way, which I did. So even my guru had moments of impatience with driving. But you see a driver, they're driving the way you don't like them, too slow, too fast. Shanti, 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 Shanti. Unless they're your disciple and you ask them to pull over so you can drive. Those were the days. So what have I said, really? What have I said to you that I hope is of some help? Detachment is a practice. It doesn't mean to be indifferent And to be clear about that, detachment is not indifference, but it means that you should act, should think, should speak in the way that is most harmonious. Don't interfere with the lives of others. Act, speak, think, speak, act in a way that is most harmonious, a way that is most compassionate, putting your own needs and greeds aside. And we all have greeds, you can't say, oh, I'm not greedy. It's the last of the emotional states of consciousness that leave us. Whether even if it's the greed for life, the greed for the life in the body. Let go of these things. Use your practices. And the practices, as I said, they can come in many, many forms. But here's the formula. Find an activity that you do in your life that's meaningful to you and use it as a sadhana, something you do frequently. So, you're going to go to the golf course and you like a particular golf cart. Let somebody else take it. You're going to the grocery store. You like a particular cashier. Somebody else gets there first. Let them get there first. You go in the parking lot and somebody else wants the same spot that you do. Let them take the spot. You're in line for something and people are pushing to get through. Let them go. You're driving down the street and somebody is racing behind you. Do yourself a favor. Pull over and let them go by. Don't get all that emotional energy behind you. But look at your life. Your life is this great opportunity for detaching, for finding happiness and contentment. And remember always, we're not going at this level. Right? You're not trying to see at this level. Ascend. Sit on the top of the elephant. So that memory of yours will be able to see higher and higher and higher. The memory of your past, that you will learn from it, that you will remember, that thus your life will be you'll be more content, you will be happier and able to find your enlightenment. And so now we will spend the remaining time of our time together in meditation, lifting and vivifying. Namaste. Sit with your spine erect and your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and thumb together, sitting on your thighs, the hands on the thighs. Turn your head to the left with the resurrection breath, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center, beginning to watch the breath. Inhaling with the sipping breath, pull the energy from the limbs to the trunk. From the trunk to the spine. From the base of the spine to the sun center. Move that energy out as a golden ball of light in front of you. And sweep it around to the left, behind, to the right, and in front. Do this 2 more times. Expand that golden light and ascend upward. Ascend up to the highest of the high places. As you have reached the high place of meditation, you see in front of you a large mirror. You look into the mirror with your third eye, the point between your brows, your Ajna chakra. And in this mirror, you see all of your biases and prejudices and preferences, like lines flowing to your being, lines flowing away. All of those things that you are averse to or that you desire. Accept that. Accept it as it is. See the mirror dissolve away. In front of you is a path. Step onto the path. You see it ascends. You see in front of you perfectly beautiful, perfect shrine for you. The shrine is surrounded by light, the color for you. As you stand at the door, are you willing to let go for just a nanosecond of all of these biases and prejudices? Are you willing to let go of all the things you're attached to? Just for a nanosecond. Are you willing to find happiness and deep, abiding contentment? Enter then into the entrance to the shrine. The light is filled with the colors that you need. The air is filled with the colors. The shrine radiates. You walk to the back of the shrine to a pool that is fed by a waterfall. Enter into the pool of light. Feel all of these lines dissolving away, all of your biases and prejudices dissolving away, all of the attachments dissolving away. Walk forth to the light waterfall. Standing underneath it, the color or colors that you need pouring down upon your crown center, pouring through your being into every cell of your being, loosening the bonds of karma. Feel your body begin to ascend as these attachments dissolve away, as the karmas dissolve away. Feel your body begin to ascend a slight amount. When you are ready, walk forth on the waterfall of light. Feel yourself anew, revivified. The biases and prejudices lifted for the moment. You are anew. Walking through the shrine, breathing and inhaling all of the light that you need at this moment. Feel yourself newly clothed with vibrant light. As you leave the shrine, you return to your place of meditation. Dhyana Mulam Guru Murti Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Bhakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa, Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Bhakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Guru Namaha. Om Guru Namaha. Om Guru Namaha. Be thou blessed. Be thou blessed. Be thou triply blessed. Feel the golden dewdrops of Ananda pouring down upon you at this moment. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Become an ever greater blessing unto all of those who enter your aura. Namaste. And remember, don't take it so personally. People are just peopling. You people, I people. We try to ascend above. And I thank you. Thank you for the blessings of your presence, for the blessings of your meditative energy, for joining. Namaste. Shanti.